The scent of hickory-smoked ribs fills the warm afternoon air, mingling with the laughter of children running barefoot across the neatly trimmed grass. Sunlight bounces off the blue-tiled pool as Malik Carter flips another burger on the grill, savoring the sizzle. His backyard is a haven, his sanctuary, where he hosts Sunday barbecues like his father used to back in Atlanta. But this isn't Atlanta. This is Oak Ridge Estates, a pristine suburban neighborhood just outside Houston. Gated, quiet, overwhelmingly white. The kind of place where smiles feel forced, and every HOA notice is a passive-aggressive warning wrapped in politeness. Malik had noticed the wary glances since the day he moved in. A young black man, successful, single, and somehow an anomaly in a place like this. Daddy, Uncle Malik has the best burgers. His 6-year-old niece, Jayla, squeals, clapping her ketchup-covered hands together. Her father, Malik's older brother, Kevin, laughs. You say that every time, Jay. Because it's true. She grins, her 2 front teeth missing. Malik chuckles, handing his brother a plate piled high with ribs. These Sundays mean everything. A time to reconnect, to laugh, to just be. But as he glances toward his back fence, that easy feeling fades. She's there again. Karen Whitmore, the HOA president, and the bane of his existence. She stands just beyond her garden hedge, arms crossed, sharp blue eyes locked on his yard. Even from a distance, Malik can hear her huffing. See the way her mouth pinches as if she's inhaled something rotten. It's the 3rd time this month. The first time, she claimed his music was too loud. The second, she sent a warning letter about unauthorized gatherings. Today, she doesn't bother with pretense. She just stares, fingers twitching near her phone. Yo, Malik. Kevin leans in, lowering his voice. Your nosy neighbor is back on her creep mode. I see her, Malik mutters, forcing himself to stay calm. She got a problem with black folks enjoying some ribs, or what? Malik exhales, pressing his tongue against his teeth. I got a feeling we're about to find out. Across the yard, Karen finally moves, turning sharply on her heel and disappearing behind her fence. A moment later, Malik's phone buzzes in his pocket. A text. HOA violation notice. Unauthorized event. Cease immediately. Malik grips the phone, jaw tightening. His brother glances over his shoulder, reading it too. She's really doing this again? Kevin scoffs. Bro, it's a family barbecue. Malik sighs, shaking his head. Yeah, but in her eyes, it's something else. A warning. A foreshadowing. Something is coming. The sun dips lower, casting long shadows across the yard. But Malik's peace is shattered. The laughter has quieted. The sizzle of the grill now a mere background hum as he watches. With growing discomfort, the figure of Karen Whitmore emerge from behind her fence once again. This time, she's not standing still. She's pacing the edge of her property, a phone pressed to her ear. She speaks in clipped, authoritative tones. Malik's gut tightens. It's not the first time Karen's acted like this, but there's something different about today. Something off. His niece Jayla runs up to him, holding a plate of watermelon. Uncle Malik, can I play in the pool? He smiles at her, trying to ignore the tightness in his chest. Yeah, go ahead. Just be careful. She rushes off, her bare feet slapping against the hot patio tiles. Malik glances back at Karen, who's still on the phone, moving closer to the side of the fence that borders Malik's property. Her eyes flicker over to him, and for a moment, their gazes meet. She holds it for a fraction of a second longer than necessary, a tight, knowing smile curling her lips. That smile, so small, so subtle, is all Malik needs to feel the cold edge of discomfort slip deeper into his bones. Something's coming. But what? He watches her as she steps back inside her house, still muttering into the phone. A beat later, the sound of sirens fills the air. Malik's heart drops. This is no coincidence. You hear that? Kevin says, squinting toward the street. Yeah, I hear it. Malik's voice is low, measured. He drops the tongs onto the grill, his fingers stiff. She called the cops. Again? Over a damn barbecue. Kevin scoffs, shaking his head. Man, This is straight up. Malik's phone buzzes again, this time a call. He doesn't need to check the number to know who it is. Hey Malik, it's Officer Daniels. The voice on the other end of the line says, familiar but cold. We've got a noise complaint, and some neighbors are concerned about the gathering you've got going on over there. Malik's teeth clench. His voice stays steady. I'm not causing any disturbance. Just a family barbecue. Yeah, we've received several complaints about the loud music and crowd. Daniels pauses. I've got to come by and check it out. Protocol. Protocol. Malik repeats, disbelief creeping into his tone. You've got to be kidding me. Another pause. Daniels sounds uncertain now, but still defensive. It's just a precaution, Malik. I'll be there shortly. Malik hangs up, eyes burning with frustration. He rubs a hand across his face. This wasn't a mistake. He can feel it in his gut. The way Karen had been watching him, the way she made sure the cops were involved. She knows exactly what she's doing. I'm gonna need you to hold it down for me, Kev, Malik mutters, walking towards the side of the house. Kevin frowns, his eyes narrowing in disbelief. You really think she's? Man, that's some messed up shit. I don't think I know. Malik's voice drops, low and steady. I'm gonna make sure she can't do this again. He strides toward the front, stepping over the perfectly manicured lawn. A sense of foreboding follows him, like a storm about to break. The sirens grow louder, the noise pressing in, constricting the air around him. Malik stops, frozen in place. His eyes flicker to the window of Karen's house. She's watching again. Malik stands in his driveway, arms crossed, as two police cruisers roll up, red and blue lights flashing against the evening sky. The neighborhood has gone quiet, curtains shifting as people peek through their windows. He already knows how this goes. He's seen it before. The lead officer, Daniels, steps out first, tall, white, mid-40s, his face set in an expression of forced neutrality. A younger officer follows, scanning the yard like they're responding to an armed robbery instead of a barbecue. Daniels clears his throat. Malik. Malik doesn't move. Officer Daniels. Daniels gestures toward the house next door, Karen's house. She's standing on her porch now, arms crossed, chin raised slightly like she's already won. We got a call about a disturbance, Daniels continues. Loud music, a large gathering. Some neighbors feel unsafe. Unsafe, Malik repeats, a bitter laugh escaping before he can stop it. He gestures behind him. It's a family barbecue, Daniels. Kids playing. Burgers on the grill. You really think that's a threat? Daniels shifts, glancing at the yard, as if noticing for the first time that there's no shouting, no chaos. Just a group of mostly black and brown people enjoying a Sunday meal. Look, I get it, Daniels says, lowering his voice. But we have to respond when we get complaints. Malik holds his gaze. And let me guess, the complaints only ever come from one person. Daniels exhales sharply. That's not the point. HOA rules say no large, unauthorized gatherings. Mrs. Whitmore says you've ignored multiple warnings. Malik clenches his jaw. There's no rule against having family over. She claims it's an unauthorized event. An event. Kevin cuts in, stepping forward. His voice is thick with disbelief. Are you serious? What? Because we're black? A normal get-together turns into a damn festival. Karen steps off her porch now, walking toward the officers with a tight smile, playing the role of the concerned citizen. Officers, thank you for coming, she says, clasping her hands together. I hate to be the bad guy here, but I did warn Mr. Carter multiple times. This neighborhood has rules, and we can't just let things get out of control. Malik's eyes burn into her. Out of control? You mean a couple of kids in a pool and some grilled chicken? Karen sighs dramatically. It's about maintaining community standards. She turns to Daniels. If we let this slide, what's next? Parties every weekend? Strangers coming in and out at all hours? Property values dropping. There it is. The unspoken fear. The coded language. Karen doesn't have to say it outright. Black gatherings equals trouble. Black joy equals a threat. Daniels hesitates. The younger officer shifts uncomfortably. The weight of Karen's words hangs between them. Malik takes a slow breath. He needs to play this smart. I'll tell you what, he says. I've got my HOA handbook inside. How about we check it together? See if there's actually a rule against a small family barbecue. Karen stiffens. Daniels looks unsure but nods. That seems fair. Malik turns toward the house. But before he can take a step, Karen speaks again, her voice sharper now. You know, I'd hate to escalate this, but I've already spoken to the HOA legal team. Malik stops cold. Excuse me? I informed them of the repeated violations. She continues, her tone cool and authoritative. And if you don't comply, we will be forced to take further action. A slow, boiling rage builds in Malik's chest. She planned this. She set this up. Kevin mutters. This is some straight-up Jim Crow nonsense. Malik tightens his fists. No, she's not winning this. He pulls out his phone. You said the HOA legal team, huh? Funny, because I'm on the HOA email list too. And I haven't seen anything about that. Karen blinks, caught off guard. Well, you're not privy to certain. Let's find out. Malik starts dialing. I've got a friend who's a lawyer. Maybe he can clear this up. Karen's smile falters for the first time. Daniels shifts again. The younger officer now looks like he really doesn't want to be here. Malik presses the call button, lifting his phone to his ear. The energy in the air changes. Karen knows she's losing control. The air is thick with tension. The hum of crickets drowned out by the flashing red and blue lights reflecting off Karen Whitmore's smug expression. She stands tall, arms folded, radiating confidence like a queen surveying her conquered land. You can call whoever you want, Mr. Carter, she says, her voice honeyed with condescension. But the HOA has already ruled on this. You're in clear violation. She turns to Officer Daniels, placing a hand lightly on his arm as if they're old friends. I really do appreciate you handling this. It's so important to keep our neighborhood safe. Malik catches the slight emphasis on that last word. Safe. From him. From them. He glances at the officers. Daniels looks uncomfortable now, shifting from one foot to the other, while the younger cop avoids eye contact entirely. But neither of them steps in. Karen notices too. Sensing her advantage, she smiles wider. I suppose we can be reasonable about this. If you shut everything down now, we can avoid official consequences. Her tone is sweet, but her eyes are sharp. She thinks she's won, that she has the power here, that he'll fold like every other time she's pulled this nonsense. Malik lets the silence stretch, watching her. Then slowly he smiles. Karen, he says, his voice calm. You talk a lot about rules. But here's the thing. I don't think you actually know them. Karen's smile flickers. Excuse me? Malik lifts his phone. The call is still ongoing. The speaker loud enough for everyone to hear. Malik, I pulled up the Oak Ridge Estates HOA regulations. Comes the smooth, confident voice of DeAndre Holloway, an attorney who does know the rules. Now, unless they changed something recently, there is no restriction on personal gatherings under 25 people. And barbecues? Specifically allowed. Karen's face freezes. That's not. Oh. And about that HOA legal team you mentioned? Malik tilts his head. DeAndre called them. No complaint was ever filed. Kevin lets out a low whistle. Damn, Karen. You just straight up lied to the cops. Daniel's jaw tightens. His eyes flick to Karen now, suspicion creeping into his face. The younger officer leans in slightly, listening. Karen's mouth opens, then closes. She looks between Malik and Daniels, scrambling for control. I was just trying to enforce the spirit of the rules, she says quickly, her voice sharper now. I mean, it's obvious that this kind of activity is disruptive. Property values, safety, and, you mean black people in your neighborhood, right? Malik cuts in smoothly. Karen stiffens. That is not what I said. But it's what you meant. Malik steps closer, lowering his voice. You don't care about rules. You care about control. And you hate that I won't bow to you. Her cheeks flush. The facade of polite HOA president is cracking. I was just... Malik holds up a hand. Don't bother, Karen. He turns to Daniels. You hear all this, right? She lied to get the police involved. That's filing a false report. Daniels looks at Karen now with an expression Malik can't quite read. But it's not deference anymore. The younger cop speaks up for the first time. Ms. Whitmore, if what he's saying is true, that's serious. Karen shakes her head quickly. No, I was acting in good faith. A new voice suddenly cuts through the night. She does this all the time. Everyone turns. Standing on the sidewalk, arms crossed, is Mrs. Juarez, one of the older residents of the neighborhood. Behind her, two more neighbors linger, Mr. Patel and Ms. Thompson. I've seen her call the HOA on the Patel kids for loitering when they were just riding their bikes. Mrs. Juarez says, her voice loud and clear. She harassed Ms. Thompson's son about his car in the driveway, said it looked suspicious. And now this. Mr. Patel nods. I kept quiet before, but this is too much. This isn't about rules. It's about who she thinks should live here. Karen's face is now a deep shade of red. That's ridiculous, she splutters. Daniels exhales, rubbing his temple. He looks at Karen, his expression unreadable. Then finally he shakes his head. Karen, he says, voice flat, we're gonna need to talk. Karen's face twists, her confidence unraveling before everyone's eyes. Talk? She sputters, glancing wildly between Daniels and the neighbors. Talk about what? This is ridiculous. You were just lying to get the cops involved. Malik cuts in smoothly, arms crossed. And now everyone knows it. Karen's hands clench at her sides. She looks at Daniels, her voice desperate. Officer, you know I was just trying to do the right thing. These people. Daniels holds up a hand, his patience visibly thinning. You claimed the HOA took action against Malik. That was a lie. His gaze sharpens. That's filing a false police report. Karen's face drains of color. That's not what happened. The younger officer, clearly uncomfortable, steps forward. Ma'am, did you or did you not falsely report a violation that didn't exist? Karen looks trapped. She opens her mouth, then closes it. Her eyes dart back to Malik, blazing with pure hatred. This is a setup, she shrieks, turning to the neighbors. You're all ganging up on me. No, Karen, Mrs. Juarez says, voice firm. You did this to yourself. Karen spins back to Daniels, panic rising in her voice. Come on, you know me. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I go to the HOA meetings, Daniels exhales sharply, rubbing his forehead. Karen, you made a false complaint. His tone shifts, colder now. That's a crime. Karen's breath stutters. You wouldn't, she whispers, disbelief washing over her face. I should, Daniels mutters. Then, just when she thinks it can't get worse, Malik speaks again. Oh, by the way, he says, casually holding up his phone. I recorded this whole conversation. Silence. Karen freezes. Daniel's head snaps toward Malik. Wait. You recorded her admitting she lied? Malik just shrugs. Figured I'd need receipts. He taps the screen, and Karen's own voice fills the air. If we let this slide, what's next? Parties every weekend? Strangers coming in and out at all hours? Property values dropping? It's about maintaining community standards. I already spoke to the HOA legal team. The recording ends. Karen looks like she's been hit by a truck. Her mouth opens and closes soundlessly. The neighbors murmur, shaking their heads. Kevin lets out a low whistle. Karen's hands start shaking. Why you can't use that? Daniels exhales slowly, realization hitting him. He turns to his partner. She's admitted to lying about the HOA complaint. That means she wasted police resources under false pretenses. The younger officer nods grimly. We might have to report this. Karen's eyes widen in horror. No, no, no. You don't understand. She blurts out. She grabs onto Daniel's sleeve, desperation creeping into her voice. I was just trying to protect the neighborhood. Daniel steps back. Karen, let go. Her face twists, tears welling up as she turns back to Malik, fury and panic clashing in her expression. You set me up, she hisses. Malik just gives her a slow, easy smile. Nah, you played yourself. Karen lets out a strangled sound, her world collapsing around her. Then her last card, her only card. She lunges for Malik's phone. Kevin reacts first. Hey! He shouts, stepping in just as Karen's fingers swipe wildly for the device. Malik smoothly moves back, dodging her grasp. Karen stumbles right into the younger cop. Ma'am, that's enough. He snaps, steadying her. Daniels has had it. Karen Whitmore, he says flatly. You just tried to physically take evidence from someone's hands. You're done. Karen panics. No, I wasn't. I didn't mean. Daniels turns to his partner. Radio in. Let's see if the station wants to move forward with charges. Karen lets out a high-pitched, gasping laugh. Charges? For this? Malik folds his arms. Ain't that crazy? White lady calls the cops for a fake problem and ends up almost getting arrested herself. Kevin chuckles darkly. Talk about a plot twist. Karen's breathing is ragged now. She knows she's lost. I'll sue. She suddenly blurts out, grasping at straws. I'll take this to the HOA. You mean the HOA that you lied about? Malik deadpants. Karen sways on her feet, her whole illusion of power crumbling. Then another nail in the coffin. Mr. Patel pulls out his phone. I just sent the HOA board an email about this situation, he announces. And guess what, Ms. Whitmore? They're not happy. Karen whirls around. You can't do this. Oh, we can, Mrs. Juarez says coolly. And we are. Karen knows it's over. She lets out a guttural sound of frustration, her hands balling into fists. Then she does the only thing left. She runs inside, slams the door, locks it. The neighbors burst into laughter. Kevin claps Malik on the back. Man, that was a masterclass. Daniels just shakes his head. We'll follow up, he mutters, rubbing his temples. He nods to Malik almost respectfully. You did the right thing recording this. Malik smirks. Gotta cover my ass. As the officers leave, the energy shifts. The tension that had settled over the neighborhood for years is suddenly lighter. Karen thought she was untouchable. Now, she's exposed. And Malik? He's just getting started. 2 days later, the neighborhood's group chat is on fire. Screenshots, links, articles. HOA president under fire for false police report. Karen Whitmore resigns amid community backlash. Caught on tape. Racist HOA president exposed. Malik leans back on his porch, sipping his coffee as the morning sun warms his skin. The same backyard Karen tried to shut down is now filled with the scent of fresh-cut grass and peace. Real peace. Not the kind Karen tried to enforce. His phone buzzes. Another text from Kevin. Bro, you see this? She's done. Malik smirks. Yeah, he saw. The fall of Karen Whitmore. The police didn't arrest her that night. But the fallout? Worse than handcuffs. HOA members were furious when they found out Karen had lied. Used their authority to weaponize the police. The board held an emergency meeting. By morning, she was forced to resign as HOA president. Then came the social media storm. Someone, probably Kevin, leaked the recording. It spread fast. People recognized her. Coworkers, old classmates, former neighbors. She's been doing this for years. One comment read. I went to high school with her. She always thought she was better than everyone. Then the final blow. Karen's employer, a real estate agency, issued a statement. We have been made aware of the actions of our employee, Karen Whitmore. Effective immediately, she is no longer with our company. Karen lost her job. By the end of the week, her house was up for sale. Malik doesn't feel bad. Not one bit. The neighborhood awakens. At first, the other neighbors avoided him. Not because they were mad, because they were ashamed. Mrs. Juarez finally broke the silence. I should have spoken up sooner, she admitted one evening, standing at his fence. She's been like this for a long time. But it was easier to ignore it. Malik nodded. I get it. She sighed. No, you shouldn't have had to. The Patel family stopped by next. I'm sorry we didn't back you up before, Mr. Patel said. She made our kids feel like they didn't belong. We should have pushed back. Miss Thompson brought over a pie. If you ever need a witness next time one of these Karens tries it, I got you. Malik chuckled. Next time, I'm just gonna live stream it. They all laughed. But they knew the truth. There shouldn't be a next time. A final moment of karma. One evening, as Malik is firing up the grill, a moving truck pulls up in front of Karen's house. She steps out looking wrecked. Her hair is unkempt, dark circles shadow her eyes, and the confidence she once wore like armor, gone. For a second, their eyes meet. Malik sees something ugly flash across her face. Anger, bitterness, but also defeat. She looks away first. Malik just smiles and flips his ribs. A car pulls into his driveway. His sister and nephews pile out, greeting him with laughter and hugs. Life moves on. Karen is gone. And the neighborhood? Better without her.